Hi everyone, this is Cafeccino. I'm Ramshana Nadeem. Today's video is about chocolate chunk muffins. Also, we'll be discussing some differences between a cupcake and a muffin because most of us mistook them and consider them as the same. So we'll be discussing the differences as well. Into a bowl, crack in 3 eggs and give them a little whisk. Once that's done, add in granulated sugar into it and give them a nice whip. Now all the recipe ingredient list along with your quantities are mentioned in the description box below, so you can go and check that out over there. So after adding the sugar into your eggs, just whisk it until it gets light in volume, paler in color, and fluffy in texture. So all these 3 qualities combined together make up a term which is called a ribbon stage in our baking language. So it looks something like this. It will be almost like pale white in color, and when you will lift up your beaters, it will form a ribbon, something like this. So you can see it will be flowing beautifully like a ribbon. That's our ribbon stage done. Now into a clean separate bowl, add in some cream. I'm using whipping cream, but you can feel free to use double cream, heavy cream, regular cream, or whipping cream. It's all up to you, and give it a whisk until it's nice and slightly thicker. Now as I'm using whipping cream, it will increase in volume and get a bit more thicker, but if you're using normal cream, it might not get thicker. That will be fine as well. Add in some Dutch processed cocoa in it. Feel free to use normal cocoa as well, but I would highly recommend you guys to use Dutch processed. As you can see the color of it, it's beautiful. The color, the flavor, the smell, the aroma, everything is so much intense, and you get the best chocolatey flavor out of Dutch processed. So try to invest in Dutch processed ones and you will never switch back. And personally, I almost use in every single recipe, I use Dutch processed instead of natural cocoa because it tastes, it tastes more like chocolate, and that's what we need. Mix up your cocoa in the cream, and this will get instantly so thick. It will almost look like a frosting. And by the way, this is not frosting. This thing is going in our egg mixture, in our muffin mix, because muffins are not frosted. That's the major difference which you can identify easily. Muffins are never frosted. Cupcakes are frosted and decorated, and cupcakes are actually mini cakes. So they are miniature cakes or miniature desserts, and they are served in the form of dessert. They are a dessert, and muffins are actually belonging of bread family. That sounds like weird, but muffins are from bread family, and they are served in breakfast mostly. They are not frosted, but they are maybe you might find a drizzle of some granulated sugar or some nuts and chunks of chocolate on top of a muffin, which is really common. Add in some just mix those 2 things first, the cream and the egg mixture. Also add in some plain flour and baking powder. Give it a quick mix and add in chocolate chunks into it. Now chocolate chunks always gives a nice dimension. I always prefer using chunks instead of chocolate chips. You will see in every recipe of mine. Also add in some extract. I'm using hazelnut extract, but feel free to use vanilla extract as well if hazelnut one is not available. Fold in the chocolate chunks in the very end, and as you can see, the batter is quite thick. That's the difference. The batter of the muffin is mostly thicker than comparatively to the cupcake batter. And just because of the thickness, the density of the batter, the chocolate chunks won't sink, which is a great thing. So you won't be having chocolate chunks, bits of chocolate lying at the bottom, burnt from the base of your cake muffin. Line your muffin tray or cupcake tray, whatever you call it, with your liners, and then spoon the batter into them. Now one more difference which we do while baking cupcakes and muffins is we fill in the batter. While making cupcakes, we fill in like 3/4 of a batter and we leave 1/4 of a room to rise them. But while making muffins, I prefer personally to fill it all the way to the top, because when they rises, they get a really nice, beautiful dome on top, and that's because we fill them all the way to the top. Also adding in some chocolate chunks on top. These are completely optional. I've not mentioned them in the description box, so if you want to add them, chop some extra chocolate and then top it on top. Once that's done, bake these in the preheated oven. They won't take too much time, 20 minutes max, and 15 to 20 minutes is like the average time of their baking. And bake them in the preheated oven at 180°C. And you can see how it looks from inside. The chocolate from the top is melted, also from the inside. These muffins are really light and not dense like other muffins, and this recipe is basically tested, like I'm making these from like past 3 to 4 years, so this is fully foolproof. And hope you like the tutorial. Subscribe for a new video every Friday. Do follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Click here for the mint cupcake recipe, and here for the latest uploaded videos. And as always, eat, drink, and think. Bye guys.